Moments with God.
Impress of heaven. Hebrews 8:5 says, See, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern shown to thee in the mount. The Lord gave an important lesson to his people in all ages when to Moses on the mount he gave instructions regarding the building of the tabernacle. In that work he required perfection in every single little detail. As wickedness in the world becomes more pronounced and the teachings of evil are more fully developed and widely accepted, the teachings of Christ are to stand forth, exemplified in the lives of converted men and women. Into all to which the Christian set his hand should be woven the thought of the eternal life. If the work performed is agricultural or mechanical in its nature, it may still be seen after the pattern of the heavenly. Through the grace of Christ, every provision has been made for the perfecting of Christ-like characters, and God is honored when his people, in all their social and business dealings, reveal the principles of heaven. The Lord demands uprightness in the smallest as well as the largest matters. Those who are accepted at last as members of the heavenly court will be men and women who are here on earth have sought to carry out the Lord's will in every particular, who have sought to put the impress of heaven upon their earthly labors. In order that the earthly tabernacle might represent the heavenly, it must be perfect in all its part, and it must be in the smallest detail like the pattern in heaven. So it is with the characters of those who are finally accepted in the sight of heaven. The Son of God came down to earth, that in him men and women might have a representation of the perfect characters which alone God could accept. Through the grace of Christ, every provision has been made for the salvation of the human family. It is possible for every transaction entered into by those who claim to be Christians to be as pure as were the deeds of Christ. And the soul who accepts the virtues of Christ's character and appropriates the merits of his life is as precious in the sight of God as was his own beloved Son. This reading was taken from the book In Heavenly Places. Impress of heaven. God told Moses, See, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern shown to thee in the mount. This is a great lesson. It's an instruction that we can copy in our daily lives. Every one of us has different activities and responsibilities to accomplish in this life. But how do we accomplish them? By taking into account that they are the children of the heavenly King, and therefore doing them well with the imprints of heaven. Our Lord requires rectitude in the small as well as the big things. If we desire to be accepted as members of the heavenly courts, then we need to be men and women on earth that have tried to put heaven's seal on their earthly works. Every time we do something, let us do it for the Lord. The work, profession, or place where we are does not matter. Everything and every child of God must demonstrate that they have the divine character. The greatest example was Jesus. He came here to earth to do the things which please the Father. He also should live here on earth. We should live here on earth, like people who already live in heavenly places, doing everything so as it pleases God. Visit www.biblewell.com